And a great pleasure right now to welcome to our show today a man who has co-written a very fascinating book, and it's called The Hunt for KSM, talking about Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, inside the pursuit and takedown of the real 9/11 mastermind. We're joined by journalist Terry McDermott, who has covered this particular story for a long time and worked for the Los Angeles Times magazine and other publications. He joined us today from California. Terry, good to talk to you. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Good to have a chance to talk to you. I had a chance to read through the book over the last couple of days, and I really enjoyed how you kind of, step by step, from almost when we started to, hear about this person here, difficult to kind of go back and do the research on it, or how'd you put it together? It's really in-depth.
It's just, stupidly difficult. Nothing came easy. But we've been working off and on this for 10 years. Josh Meyer, my co-author, was actually reporting on Al-Qaeda even before 9/11, and I started on 9/11. So we've been at it for a while. But it's, when you're trying to write about people like this, you're basically trying to find friends and family who can describe the person. And most of those people, one, they're really hard to find, and two, when you found them, they didn't want to talk. An awful lot of them. So it's hard to persuade people to cooperate. But on the other hand, we tried to find the people who were chasing him, and they didn't want to talk because it was all classified. So it was just a slog. But we're both, I guess, we're obsessive guys, and we knock on 1,000 doors, and if that doesn't work, knock on 1,001. That's basically what we did.
Old-fashioned journalism there, right?
Yeah, completely.
Gumshoe journalism, they call it.
We don't use telephones. And, we're relatively fearless in terms of willing to go wherever we needed to go.
Well, obviously, we all know what...
Reporting for this book, we was reporting from more than 20 countries.
Right. I would say, obviously, we all know what happened in 9/11, but just kind of, doing the backstory on it and what the intricacies of this whole plan was on the terrorist part. I think you get into some real good in-depth detail that a lot of people aren't going to maybe not know or never knew about or forgotten. But anything that kind of surprised you? I mean, obviously it was covered for so long after it, but some things that surprised you when you did the research?
The most surprising thing to me is that the guy, everybody who we talked to who actually knew him, described him as charming. You think of this evil mastermind as this cunning, sinister, dark character, and he was almost the opposite. He was sort of a sunny personality. One of the investigators who chased him for the longest said if you didn't know what he was doing, he's the kind of guy you'd want to sit down and have a beer with. He's just this weird, that doesn't jive, right?
No.
You don't want this guy who's done these horrible, evil things to be likable. But that was part of the reason for his success, was the charm. He was able to persuade people to do stuff at the drop of a hat. Well, able to persuade people to commit suicide, able to persuade people to commit mass murder.
It's kind of like if you say you want to it's kind of like sitting down with Hitler. I mean...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's, you'd have let's have a cup of coffee. How's it going, Mom? I don't know. Let's go kill somebody. It's just bizarre.
I know the cultural differences are incredible between obviously America and wherever the terrorists are over the Middle East, but it's hard to fathom how that kind of evil can manifest itself. Any idea? I mean, I guess nobody does exactly, but just from your research, did you get any hint of where it came from, or why this evil hatred of America?
The root, I mean, there's lots of causes, complicated and many, but at the root, there's a base anti-Semitism that drives KSM. Like many people in that region, they blame most of their problems on Israel. They blame the United States for Israel's existence. So it's really not more complicated than that. I mean, for whatever else happened, whatever else puts these guys in these positions, that's the fundamental thing driving them forward.
Yeah. Now, you talk in the book of some other times where KSM really could have been caught, I guess, right before 9/11 happened. Some near misses. I guess information was known about him. That must have been kind of interesting to look into that.
Not just could have been, but should have been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he came very close to being caught at least twice. He was, ready to be arrested in 1996 in Doha. They had a plane sitting there waiting to take him back to the United States. The FBI agents were on the ground. And while they negotiated with the Qatari government for permission to arrest him, he was tipped off by somebody in the government and fled. And that was the last chance. And where did he go after that? He went to join forces with bin Laden. Took the airplane plan with him.
Wow. It's amazing to me.
Right?
It's amazing to me, and obviously I live in the Sarasota area. We know some of those pilots learned how to not land necessarily. They didn't even want to learn how to land, but to take off in those jet planes at an airport school down in this part of Florida. I know you talk about some of that in the book. I mean, there's a lot of cells throughout the country, but you're talking about small towns or relatively small towns in the U.S. where they build these cells and they can live for a long time before they do anything, right?
Well, that's one of the scarier aspects of this is that we know that there are other sleeper agents that he recruited and dispatched. We just don't know who they are or where they are, but we know that they're there.
Scary.
Yeah.
You mentioned that KSM should have been caught previously. In your opinion, Terry, if he had been caught, would this 9/11 happen, or would it have just been somebody else that would have stepped into his spot, you think, and man,
nobody else had the idea. It was his idea. Mm-hmm. He brought the idea to bin Laden. He conceived it. He brought it to bin Laden. He oversaw its execution in the fine detail of it. No, if he'd been caught, 9/11 would not have happened. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying other attacks could well have. But 9/11 wouldn't have. And
there was more to it than what actually happened, right? I mean, obviously, the plane in Pennsylvania, passengers ended that one, but there was going to be more than the ones that happened that day, right, originally?
Yeah, there's a second wave that he was trying to recruit more pilots for. There were other attacks, many other attacks, dozens of them. They looked at nuclear facilities, poisoning the water supply, blowing up gas stations. Just this sort of endless boatload of attacks. He just came up with them at the spur of the moment, just on a whim. He just was relentless in coming up with ideas for attacks.
And
many of these ideas are still out there. I mean, we don't know, right?
That's the scary part now. What else is being thought about? I mean, our intelligence is better, but to think that we can capture every chatter that's going on is hard to believe. But so far we've done okay.
There's no such thing as perfect security.
No.
Some of these we've been lucky to not have other attacks. Of course, there've been dozens of attacks around the world. We just haven't had them here.
And you talk in the book, let the folks read about it, but how we captured him eventually and tried to get him to tell other information, which was quite difficult. Is he still still captured in Guantanamo Bay? Is that where he's still
in Guantanamo? We actually think that they might actually be moving to a trial fairly quickly now, after all these years. Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be an arraignment probably within the next couple of months, and after that it could go pretty fast.
That could be a circus right there with the trial, but well, it's a fascinating topic. I know we have limited time today. We've been talking with Terry McDermott, who co-wrote the book with Josh Meyer called The Hunt for KSM, Inside the Pursuit and Takedown of the Real 9/11 Mastermind. And Terry, give out a website. People get a hold of the book, or maybe send you a message if they like.
Yeah, tmcdermott.com or thehuntforksm.com, or any bookseller. Amazon, any of your local bookstore will have it.
Great. Terry, appreciate you taking a few minutes today. Look forward to your next project, and hopefully we can talk to you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, Doug.